I guess I just got lucky. Well, if I am really that good, I think I should have knew it all along. I guess I'm never gonna be as good as my friend. Do all this self-narrative actually sound very familiar to you? If yes, then you might have experienced imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome was first coined by two clinical psychologists, Susan Imes and Pauline Clance in 1970. Majority of the focus was on women as they did the study on a group of high-achieving women who earned their degree, honors, and recognitions. However, this group of high-achieving women still reported no sense of success and even see themselves as an imposter. On the other hand, do men suffer from imposter syndrome as well? The answer is yes. In a recent study conducted in 2017, researchers found that men do suffer from imposter syndrome, and the effect is even greater compared to women. Therefore, when we're talking about imposter syndrome, it does not only just affect women, but it affects men as well. So, what exactly is imposter syndrome? It is defined as a constant feeling of inadequacy with combinations of fear of being exposed as a fraud. People who suffer from imposter syndrome will normally exhibit a few characteristics. First, they have an excessive worry that they will not live up to their own expectations. Secondly, even though they succeeded in completing a task, but they will still attribute their success to external factors, for example like luck. And lastly, they will also self-sabotage their own success in order to confirm the belief that they are not good enough. Why does high achiever have a hard time trying to internalize their own success even though they are really performing? Studies provided a few reasons to explain such occurrence. First of all, it is due to cultural expectations. Due to the societal expectation on gender role, men are usually perceived to be more capable than women. Therefore, at times, women may perceive their success as the consequences of their ability to charm rather than their intellect. Well, that is an explanation for women. How about an explanation for both men and women? In order to answer that question, parenting style has to be brought into the picture. Study found that children that were brought up by controlling parents tend to have a higher imposter score. This is because over-controlling parents may cause their children to attribute their own success or achievement to parental involvement rather than their own effort and intellect. Parents who selectively value a certain traits exhibited by their child, for example sociability or attractiveness, and at the same time undervaluing other important traits like intelligence, would cause the child to build a self-concept that revolves around the traits that are valued by their parents. Consequently, the children would not attribute their success to their intelligence, which totally fits the self-concept that their parents have helped them to build into their life. Interestingly, there are 5 major types of imposter syndrome, and each with their very own distinctive characteristics. The first one, they are the kind of person that set a very high standard for themselves, but at the end feel very bad and anxious for not achieving it. And these are the people that we call them as the perfectionists. Then, we have the superwoman and men who feel obligated to juggle multiple responsibilities at one time in order to feel competent. And we also have the natural genius who see struggling to complete a task as a sign of failure. However, in reality, it is not, because it is just part of the process of completing an unfamiliar task. Then we have a group of people who see asking for help as a sign of weakness. And these are a group of people that we call them as the soloists, which I think are quite similar to the group of people that we call them as the natural genius. Last but not least, we have a group of people who expect themselves to know it all, or else they are a total failure or a fraud. And these are the people that we call them no other than the expert. It is frustrating when you are experiencing imposter syndrome. So, the American Psychology Association, or in short APA, suggested a few ways that you could use to cope with this problem. First, talk about your feeling. It is very important to share your feeling with someone whom you trust. This is just so they could offer you with another perspective to look at the problem or matter that are bothering you at the moment. They might also be able to point out the irrational thoughts that you have on your own achievement and also success. We also have to realize no one is perfect. The researchers of imposter syndrome urges us not to focus on perfection. Instead, it is more important for us to focus on our effort and also the fruit of our hard work. All in all, we need to celebrate each small victory that we have in our life. Lastly, it is to change the way that you think. Instead of thinking that you need to know it all and not offering yourself the room to make mistake, you can actually reframe your perceptions on failure, which means perceiving failure as an opportunity to learn new things rather than perceiving failure as a sign of you not doing well and not performing in life. Because, like what I mentioned just now, no one is perfect. Everyone suffers from imposter syndrome, and it is totally okay to feel that way once in a while, because after all, we are just human. But most important thing is that never run away from your problem, but try out the ways that I've suggested just now in order to help you to mitigate your problems that you have with imposter syndrome. Thank you so much for watching till this far again, and if you like the video, please give this video a thumbs up and remember to share this out with your friends. So if you're interested in psychology or mental health related content, please subscribe to my channel because there are more and more content coming out. Until then, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye!